people. Hopefully you are having a wonderful day. I'm excited to be here with you to say a noontime prayer and also chat about my upcoming trip to Florence. So, God and Goddess, thank you so much for this beautiful day and the opportunity that we have to exist and become better, to ascend the golden ladder and to uplift ourselves and others into higher states of existence, consciousness, and bliss. Please help us forgive others and help them to forgive us as we are all trying to become better, and help us return this world into a garden paradise once more. In the name of Elohim I pray, Amen. Today is Mother Earth Day, and the prayer is our God and Goddess, immanent and transcendent, send to all your angel of peace. To the kingdom of the earthly mother, send your angel of joy. I love that. I love just sending out love and joy into the world because this world needs it so much. And for instance, we've talked before about the love breath, where you breathe in and you just imagine yourself being filled with this radiant love energy, and then you breathe it out and send that energy out to the world around you. A really simple exercise that you can do to, again, not only fill yourself with that love, but also help you share that love with the world around us. So I wanted to read, this actually is tied to Earth Day and my trip to Florence. This is the Green Wizardry poem book that Day of Greenleaf wrote and sent to me. And this poem is called Mother Nature's Garden. By the way, you can purchase this book at Essene.org. And we talked before about some of this really cool artwork. And I wanted to just read this. It's called Mother Nature's Garden. And before it starts, it says, the portion of the poem beginning with the phrase beneath them all, and including all subsequent verses, were written by Day. The opening verses were written by Neela Rose. Elohim gifted us a garden home, an Eden planet, or plain, blue and green. But paradise was poisoned by man, and now Eden is hardly seen. Hardly seen, but she can be seen by those with green woman eyes. For beneath the concrete jungle, Mother Nature's garden lies. Not lies as in dishonesty, but lies as in laying down. For beneath the concrete blankets, the mother can still be found. Yea, beneath the asphalt lies the Mother Earth, the ancient green mother who gave each of us birth. Even the worst polluters, they who know not her worth, owe their very lives to her, for she gave them birth. Open your eyes to the garden, let your eyes become green. For with green lady eyes, her garden can still be seen. Of the mother's garden I sing, please listen to my song. For if we repent not the poisons, humankind will not live long. Beneath the mall, beneath the thrall, beneath our fall, beneath us all, she is a garden. Beneath the schools, beneath false rules, beneath the fools, beneath the cruels, she is a garden. Beneath the bars, beneath the cars, beneath Hollywood stars, beneath broken jars, she is a garden. Beneath the nations, beneath corporations, beneath TV stations, beneath plastic creations, she is a garden. Beneath the New York Times, beneath these rhymes, beneath ticket lines, beneath telephone lines, she is a garden. Beneath Mr. Trump's finery, beneath Mr. Bush's refinery, beneath Mr. Cheney's slimery, beneath my rhymery, she is a garden. Beneath the racetrack, beneath the Big Mac, beneath the smokestack, beneath the sidewalk crack, She is a garden. Beneath the stock exchange, beneath the weather's change, beneath the beggar's change, beneath the midlife change, she is a garden. Beneath high-tech wars, beneath superstores, beneath electric doors, beneath Walmart's floors, she is a garden. Beneath psychiatric pills, beneath society's ills, beneath unpaid bills, beneath offshore drills, she is a garden. Beneath the fat man's lap, beneath the salesman's trap, beneath the politician's nap, beneath the plastic crap, she is a garden. Beneath rushed commuters, beneath rich polluters, beneath heartless computers, beneath enraged looters, she is a garden. The choice is yours. Which path will you go? The path of pavement or where green things grow? There's a little note here that says, of a special note is the reference to Mr. Trump, since the poem was written many years before he became president. George W. Bush was president when this poem was written. Dick Cheney was vice president, and, as this poem asserts, was aptly named by his prophetic parents. So that was really interesting to see that, but that is so true, and how we easily forget that Mother Earth is that garden beneath all of this stuff, beneath everything that is going on, that connection that she is, and reconnecting with nature and all of the healing that comes from that, and trying to be more mindful about the things that we are doing in this world, pollution and all of the waste that we as humans produce. Obviously, the powers that be have tried to create this plastic situation where we're just constantly trashing the earth, and it just builds up, and putting it everywhere, right? Get everything to be made out of plastic. And the more that we're around those artificial things, not only is it hurting the world, but it is hurting us as well. And it is making us less in tune with nature all around us. So on Mother Earth Day, I hope that you'll take some time to reconnect with the earth, go on a hike in nature, go take a swim in a lake, or do something that helps you to connect with the earth, even as simple as going out and grounding. It's so many people, especially that live in the big cities, don't have that grounding connection. They're always just touching pavement or touching artificial floors. They never have that connection that comes from putting your feet in the soil, and having that not just on the electrical side of grounding, where the electricity is connecting and releasing, but as I've mentioned before, the Mother Earth and the compassion and love. It's kind of like when you're having a baby and you put the baby on your chest, and that love and all of those comforting feelings that come from that embrace, we can have that as well from the earth. So hopefully, again, you will take some time today to connect with Mother. I'm going to jump in the live chat here and say hello before I talk about what I'm planning to do in Florence today. Oh, well, not today. I'm not going today, but before I talk today about what I'm going to do in Florence. Hello, Daniel. How's it going? David D says, you should learn, then teach green wizard magic. Well, I definitely am reading in the Holy Megillah, which has a lot of just basic rituals and different things, like I mentioned, the love breath before, and different forms of magic. Realistically, everything that we are doing is either white magic or it's black magic. We're either doing things that are uplifting us. Our thoughts, words, and deeds are either uplifting us and the world around us, or we're using spelling, we're using those thoughts, words, and deeds to manifest a hell around us. So it's really important, again, that we're conscious about what we're doing. And yeah, I will be more than happy to share with you all of the things that I am learning. Kyle Smith says, this is beautiful. I too feel these words. I'm glad that you felt that. I thought it was really beautiful as well. Again, Day of Greenleaf is the translator of the Holy Megillah, and we'll talk more about Day in the future. But I will be visiting with Day and his church, and I'm really excited for all of that. So David D says, I love the poetry. Day has talent. Definitely. Grounding is so important. Getting rid of demonic energy is critical to being able to cope, to make a garden paradise. Absolutely. And just what you're saying too, this idea that we're going through life with our shoes on all the time and never grounding, like this stuff builds up. And even on just a scientific level, if you watch the Earthing documentary, I think it's for free on YouTube, you can find it, but it talks about how inflammation and other markable markers, things that they can actually test on screen, right, are positively impacted like as soon as your feet hit the soil. So I definitely encourage you, if you're interested in the more scientific side, to check out that documentary. It's for free somewhere out there. But it's really great to know that and see that the doctors have been able to help people get better. I don't want to say reverse diseases, but at least improve in their health by natural means instead of pills, right? Especially the modern medical industry. It's like a pill for this, a surgery for that. It's always something that is out of line with nature. And so for me, I'm really passionate about natural healing choices and healing like with our hands and other elements that are around us. So anyways, Daniel says that the earth is a goddess, Aeon. We live on her dream body in her divine experiment. John Lamb Lash wrote about, I think they wrote the book about Sophia or something related to Sophia and Lucifer, maybe. John Lamb Lash. I can come back to this in a second, but okay, so their video is titled The True Lucifer is Gaia. So that's available here on YouTube as well. Okay, anyways, wrote about an experience meeting the planetary animal mother Pam. Pam instead of Pan, that's cool. What was like a marshmallow and would manifest herself the same way when white barley mold. Interesting. He said everyone saw the same phenomenon according to Lash. Another correction is coming. Oh, that's very interesting. I would love to learn more about that. I am open to whatever the truth is. I do believe that the Earth Sophia goddess, that she is alive and that we can have connection with her, and ultimately having that balance of masculine and feminine, knowing our divine father and our divine mother is when we're going to be the happiest, just like any as above, so below, right? We see it in humans when children are in an environment, when they are in with loving parents that are there and attentive and all in, that's when they thrive. And any kind of deviations from that, other issues arise naturally. So having that connection, I guess also for me, coming back to the divine goddess, and she's even written about in Proverbs 8, and throughout the text, there are little tidbits of her existence in there. But it's really, really great to be able to reconnect with that. So that being said, my trip to Florence this weekend, Sunday, is actually their monthly Essene Church. And if you're interested in participating in that, it is a Zoom meeting, and the link is sent out via email. You can join, and you won't be on screen or anything, but you'll be able to tune in. And this, I guess I could probably just skim a little bit of the email that kind of says what it's about. I'm actually really excited. Well, I'm excited that it kind of worked out that I'm going to be there during their church service, but I also found out that before the church service they do a potluck, and it is vegan, so that everybody can just kind of eat everything. It just makes it so much easier. If every restaurant and everything was vegan, then everybody can eat vegan food, everybody can eat plants. And if you like if you're a business owner, it only makes sense to just have the vegan thing be your default, because then everybody can eat it. Otherwise, you're only catering to people, and the vegan movement is growing. People are awakening to the truth of our reality and understanding the connection between how we treat animals and how we are treated, the slavery that we're under and the slavery that we impose on others. We're also waking up to the fact that we were never supposed to consume flesh in the first place. It is this fallen nature state that has been programmed into us and for nefarious purposes. So anyways, super excited about this potluck that is going to be before the church service, and there's going to be some singing, but the church service is about High Priestess Day will be speaking on Merlin in the Essene teachings, and we'll also be doing we'll play an audio recording of his teacher. So anyway, there's some really exciting stuff about this service. I will say that it is a little bit older way of doing things. For instance, it's just like, it's just not modern. Okay. So the information is just great, but you might not resonate with the format that is happening. Don't let that deter you from reading the book, because it is amazing. And at least for my church, I am definitely going to be taking a more modern approach. I really like contemporary upbeat music, and not that theirs isn't like upbeat necessarily, but it's just a different direction. So I will say that, because some people just don't resonate with some of the older ways of doing things, and I totally understand that. But I'm excited that I'm going to be there to participate and to get to connect with some fellow Megillah lovers. Like, super excited about that. And yeah, so we'll see what is happening. I am going to be retrieving some more copies of the Megillah. And I also want to start like a little church library here, so that anybody that comes into the space, we could have a room set up that has the Megillah and these different, these are some of the different books that Day of Greenleaf has written as well, that are based off of the Nazarene teachings, Sacred Sex, Magdalene's teachings on Essene Tantra, Zion, the Essene martial art, and Sadhana, which this book has been really helpful because it has all of the daily practices and just really lists out all of the how to perform the 7-step of morning service, Essene service, or evening service, I'm sorry, and has all the daily prayers and rituals in there. So this book is really, really helpful. Not that these other ones aren't. I actually haven't cracked this book yet, but in due time, it will be something great to read. Anyways, my whole point was that I would love to have another copy of those that's downstairs for anybody that comes into the space to be able to read. And yeah, so basically I'm going up there to pick up a bunch of books, and I'm going to go up a little bit the coast of Oregon and sightsee a little bit. So I'm really excited to see what happens. I'll keep you informed. I'm definitely, I'll still continue to do my daily meditations with you. It's really helping me to bring my focus back to peace and love and aligning with my holy path. So that is what I am here to share with you, and I hope that it helps you as well. Hey, Anana says, so what? How's it going? David says, you combine Gnostic belief with Nazarene cosmology. Definitely, some of the Gnostic teachings are right on point. There's a lot that have been corrupted, just like every group's teachings. The Gnostics, well, at least some of them, there's different groups of Gnostics, right? There's like Jewish Gnosticism, Christian Gnosticism, whatever. Gnosis is just the knowledge of mystery, like the knowledge. And these truths have been hidden, but there's different groups that believe different things. And my whole point was that some of them believe that this reality, this world that we are in, is evil, and that the creator is an abomination, and I personally did briefly believe some of those things, and it did not help me feel better about life at all. And now the path that I'm on really resonates a lot more true, even through the downfalls and the going through the pits in life, having the joy of knowing that existence is a gift, and that it's supposed to be this expansion of existence, consciousness, and bliss. It's supposed to be this really beautiful experience, but when we are in these downward spirals, it's contracting us, and it's limiting that existence, consciousness, and bliss. And so many of us have been on the downward spiral for so long, and that's why the world is the way that it is. So getting back on the upward spiral and taking note of our thoughts, our words, our deeds, and making sure that they are in line with the upward spiral, that's going to naturally expand our existence, consciousness, and bliss, and just make our lives a lot happier. Even when there's turmoil around us, we're going to have that peace inside. We're going to just be so full of love and joy that it doesn't matter what's going on around us. We're going to just be exuding that energy, and people around us are going to notice. Hello, Mr. Khan from Pakistan. Mr. Khan says, hi, madam, how are you doing? This is Mr. Khan watching from Pakistan. I am doing great, thank you. I'm happy to be with everybody today. I got some fruit flies buzzing around here because of these grapes that I am still munching away. Grapes are probably one of my favorite fruit, so if not the best fruit. David D says, more and more vegans mean restaurants have to offer vegan options or lose money. Exactly. So it says, which Florence, Oregon, which is what David D says. Florence, Oregon, where current Nazarene Church founded by Day is. Day is the translator of the Holy Megillah and the author of these other books here, the high priest of the current Essene Church. So the church that is directly tied to this book is in Florence, Oregon, and cute little bookstore. Well, it's not really little, but cute bookstore right on the coast. And so, yeah, I'll probably end up taking at least some pictures, maybe a little video walkthrough of their bookstore so that you can see what it's all about. I'm not, I don't know if Day would want to come on my live stream or something and chat at some point, but I'm open to whatever path happens. And I'm, like I said, I'm really excited about being able that the church service is happening and the potluck. And I'm planning to take you guys might already know that my love language is food, and I have to reel it in and be like, okay, I'm not providing the whole buffet for everybody. It's a potluck. Everyone's supposed to bring one thing. That's hard for me. But my plan is this recipe called Kick Ace Sharp Cheddar Cheese Ball, and I could throw the link here. Yum. So I make this, and I'll throw it in. I'm not sure if it'll actually show you guys on Facebook, but this recipe is so good. I don't know if it's gonna send. There we go. Cool. And you could just look up Kick Ace Extra Sharp Raw Vegan Cheese Ball on Google, and you'll be able to find it. But it is, oh, cool. It went on Facebook too. That's interesting. At the bottom, it says all except for Facebook. So cool. Oh, hey, Kyle Watermelon Man Whitman says, hey, watermelon is the best fruit. That's great. Well, when you can find a seeded watermelon, it is really great. The grocery outlet actually recently started selling seeded watermelon, but before, the only place around here that was selling it was Berryvale, and their prices are absolutely outrageous. So it's definitely a treat when you get to have some seeded watermelon. Now it's making me want some watermelon. So it says not Florence, Italy. Exactly. I've never been across the pond, actually. I would love to go and visit realistically, so many places. Like, this earth is so beautiful, and when this garden in paradise is restored, we'll be able to just travel freely and go and visit all of the wonders that the world has to offer, not having to worry about surviving. We're actually going to be able to thrive and explore and invent and create and just exist in a great world. So I'm really excited for that. If we could fast forward to the time of the harvest, that would be great. But I also know that everything happens in due time, and there are more souls that need to be saved and uplifted and enlightened. So the work is not done. That's what many of us are here for, as part of the Christ family, to be that hands and feet of mercy and the light in the darkness. So hopefully that resonates with you and makes you feel like you are connecting with your soul's true purpose, to be that light in this world, to be the love and the kindness that we all need. So it says, when do you think that will happen in your lifetime? Would you not travel before that? I would love to travel before that, but also don't know what the future holds. And there's a lot of money that's required for travel and all of that. So, I'm open to it, but also I know that I need to stay in Mount Shasta largely, and the powers that be have some things potentially even planned for later this year that might really cause some upheaval and some panic. There's talks about the coastline of California happening, which obviously I know that they have been talking about this, like, probably, like, my grandma will be like, oh, they've been talking about the San Andreas fault line for, like, I know that it's been around for a long time that these kinds of threats have happened, but we're also getting closer to during the awakening, when we're remembering who we are and taking back this power. Like, they want to try to throw things in the way so that we don't just rise up against them and completely upset the system. So that's one of the reasons for all of the catastrophes and world disasters, so that they can make you homeless and put you into that survival state where you're not thinking about going in and spreading the good word and being this light and love in this situation. You're like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna survive? You're just in this panic mode. And so many people still are in that mode, even though we're not in that catastrophe situation, which is its own catastrophe. So hopefully, people keep awakening. I do believe that I am here to help manifest this world. Obviously, I know I cannot do it alone, but I know that I am here to be a light, and I want to use all of the gifts that I've been given, the talents within and without, to help make a better world. And so many things are changing right now. It's kind of just the right time for this beautiful world to happen. So it says coastline. Oh, Crystal. Hello, Crystal. Crystal, I'll be watching this Sunday on Zoom. Maybe I'll see you. Oh, cool. I'm glad to know that you will be watching. I probably won't be on the screen, because I think it's mainly just set up with the people that are speaking and all of that. And I'm not technically part of their church, although I have been received very nice compliments from Day and recognized as one of the leading Nazarene philosophers. So, that also being said, I'm going to be picking up the 49 Petals course book when I am there as well, which is the first book that you get when you are trying to essentially become a member of the church. It goes through different lessons and teachings of the Blue Rose, and I'm excited for it. The Blue Rose is the order that was the most basic and widespread of the orders that Christ and Miriam had within their group. And I actually have a blue rose tattooed on my foot. So I'm really, really excited about all of this stuff that is connecting, and will keep you in line. Keep you informed. I'll keep you in line too. I'll keep you informed to what's going on. I was reading So What's comment about coastline will happen. If you're on YouTube, which you are, my last post on my community page was actually this. Well, I'll just show you on a bad picture on my phone. Cool. Whatever. So you can kind of see that this was leaked by the US Navy, and they were saying that this is the future coastline. So basically, all of that stuff is, they're claiming, will potentially be underwater. So California would largely be gone. And this, yeah, there's other prophecies and stuff regarding different earthquakes and what might happen after that, which I maybe will share with you tomorrow. And yeah, it'll just be interesting what is to come. Obviously, I'm not trying to incite fear, but I think that we should all be prepared and know what is going on around us. So especially if you live in one of those places that is underwater in the future or potential, I especially would be looking at some options to move out of. I would be moving out of the big cities anyways, especially the more awake you become, the more it's like, oh, I'm in this, this caged system that is not natural. So yeah, we'll see what happens with all of that and what the powers that be plan. No matter what happens, it's kind of exciting. Like, we're in the Truman Show and we get to be these, we're being watched. We get to be these characters in a show that people are watching. And this is not to say to put on a show or act, but I'm saying everything that we do is already being watched. And essentially you get to be like this hero in your own story, and you get to potentially survive some really tough things that are going to make you stronger on the other side. And it's just going to be an interesting ride to see. But I have a lot of hope and excitement and joy for the future and what is to come. Even in those dark times, I remember when I first started questioning the rapture, the Christian idea or whatever, the idea that basically you might get raptured out of here before crap hits the fan, this tribulation happens, all this. And when I first started to unlearn that, I was like, well, actually, I would rather be here to help people that are in need. I wouldn't want to be taken away to heaven to safety when all of these people down here are suffering and are looking for the clues and the answers that I myself would have. And even though there might be a threat of harm or imprisonment or even death, like, that's also kind of exciting. I want to go out in a good way. I want to go out with a bang, so to speak. I would rather die for something that is worthy than, be in a nursing home crinkling away from old age. So all of that excites me. I'm excited about the future, and I'm even more excited for the fact that we can change the future and make it into something really, really spectacular. That is what the whole awakening, there's so many things that we're focused on learning and unlearning, but remembering who you are is so important, and remembering the power that we all have to change the world, not just directly around us, but on a bigger scale as well. Because you start changing and you become better, then the people around you are going to start noticing and hopefully start being better too. And I'm over here doing the same thing and trying to lift people up. All of a sudden, we have a lot of us trying to lift everything up. And hey, if we got to drag them up, that's fine too, but let's have this uplifting experience. And that's kind of what the awakening and remembering who we are is all about. I'm getting excited. So it says, so quickly this year. That's wild. Earth changes usually happen over the course of aeons. Well, I don't know what they have planned, but there's all sorts of allegations, and it would be pretty easy for them to sink some continents, especially if you read the Lost Continent of Mu by James Churchward. It references the Nakal tablets, and it talks about how the earth that we're living on actually is resting on this honeycomb of essentially explosive gases. And in order to keep the land afloat, those gases are there, but they can easily be lit on fire and sink sink a continent. So anyways, again, this is not to incite fear or anything. This is to be mindful of what potential things might happen and be prepared for them, so that when those situations do happen, we're not trying to scramble and figure out what's going on. Being prepared is really important. Hey, Waters Above, how's it going? Waters Above YOLO. There is no future, there is only now. Interesting. Well, I understand the sentiment, but I also think that that could also lead to some dangerous and impulsive lifestyle choices that may not be of the upward spiral. Well, obviously. David says, we get to be our own heroes in this story. Exactly. That is so exciting. Like, I don't know. I was thinking this morning about, like, you think of someone that might be in the city and all of a sudden they're going to get upheaved and have to go and learn how to, like, survive in the wilderness. And that's going to come with so much character change in that person. And I don't know, just getting to see that as a watcher would be so cool. So I just am getting excited about life. So what says there will be future? I agree with that. Not all people are searching. Well, that is true. That is definitely true. Not all people are searching, but I wonder how much of that that lack of search is because of the fluoride, and also thinking that they have all of the answers, especially in the current system of pseudoscience, right? You're an atheist who has all of the answers. All of the globe checks off all the boxes, all of the answers. They have an answer for everything. Everything just, you got it. Don't ask questions, right? And they give you this false sense of being intelligent and evolved and everything. So, yeah. Not all people are searching, but they definitely should be. David D says, land has been sunk before. Exactly. And within this cycle as well, right? The lost continent of Mu, Atlantis, different things that we already know about. So what says Nacall tablets? I think it's Nacaal, I believe. That's really funny. Nacall tablets. And it might also, yeah, so Naacal, I believe. And it says, is the name of an ancient people and civilization first claimed to have existed in British America, archaeologists. But anyways, but it talks about James Churchward in there as well. Regardless, take the information for what it is. It's just an interesting allegation that the Earth that we're on has those explosive gases underneath of us. And yeah, David says they have disconnected humanity through fluoride-based blocking of the pineal gland. Exactly. We don't even have a chance, really, because before even as we're conceived, our parents' DNA has been affected by what they're consuming, all the fluoride, the food that they're eating. And so the building blocks of us as little babies is already kind of tarnished in a way. And so, yeah, it's really hard to try to get that back. And then as soon as you come out, they try to put eye goop in your eyes and jab you. And like for guys, they try to slice body parts off of you. And like the whole situation is like a very evil welcome into this world. And that's by design. Like even ultrasounds is just traumatizing to the growing baby inside. So yeah, I'm just really excited about a future that we can create where it's opposite of that. And being a mom is something that I'm really, really passionate and excited about. And so the whole healthcare of a woman through pregnancy and welcoming a baby into the world is something I got lots of ideas on. I would love to hear your ideas as well. But just like revamping the whole culture around motherhood, and fatherhood is included in that, but I'm mainly focused on, what the mother is consuming and ultrasounds and different things that are focused on that. But we definitely need to have the balance so that people are in balance themselves and happy. David D says, it's impossible not to get poisoned. They even chemtrail the air we breathe. Exactly. Then you also have to think about how many people spray bugs and how that's kind of directly linked to the karma. Like so many of the things that they do to us, if not all, are directly karmically linked to the things that we're doing to others. And that's why they get us to do those things, so that they can do them to us. They can spray us like bugs. They can keep us in cages. They can force jab people. They can do all this stuff because you're consenting to that with your actions. Animals in the agriculture industry, they don't have a choice if they're jabbed or not. They don't have a choice if they are if muzzles put on them or not. They don't have a choice if they're in caves or in cages or, you know, enslaved. So because you don't give that freedom to the animals, you shouldn't expect it yourself. That should be so simple that anybody in any level of intelligence could understand. So it says, I think people usually just don't want to obey God, unless so a matter of the powers that be keeping them blind. Well, maybe, but I guess also obeying God might be definitely different to each of us, because I'm not sure if you are into the mainstream Bible part, and obeying God in that is definitely different than obeying the God that I follow as well. So I think that religions have also been used to turn people away from God. Even the mainstream Bible, if that is what God is, this jealous, angry tyrant who requires animal sacrifice and promotes war and all of that, if that's what God is, then I don't want anything to do with that. Thankfully, I know that's not what God is. God is loving and kind and forgiving, and does not want wars between humans, or wars between animals and humans, wars between animals and animals. God and Goddess both want peace, and this to be a perfect Garden of Eden, and that's why they created it that way. David D says, we have to make a better world. Bringing a baby into this world is bringing them into hell. That is so true. I agree with that completely. And also knowing that the powers that be have some disruptive things planned in the future. It's really just not a good time to be having children at all, because you wouldn't want to have a child and see them through famine and the sinking of like half of California, a giant tidal wave that might, all of these different things that could happen. Like, I definitely would not want to have a child through all of that. So what should I do if there is an infestation? What are we talking about? Infestation of what? Any animals that, ants. I really do not like ants. So as far as infestation of ants and other animals and critters, there are plants. That would be my first thing. Deterrent plants that they don't like. Different smells that they hate. Ants, I'm pretty sure, do not like peppermint. There's different things that you could literally plant around your house, or essential oils that you can use to line different areas. There's also vibrations that they don't like as well. So you could look into that. But there are different ways that we can creatively deter animals and still live in peace and harmony with them. Realistically, the ants wouldn't be coming in if there wasn't the food that they're attracted to, right? So we're doing things also that kind of bring them to those areas that, whatever. David D says that people don't know the true will of our Creator. They've been tricked by Satan into eating flesh and other evils. Exactly. And once you are tricked into eating flesh, as we see from the Megillah, that lowers your vibration and also allows these demonic entities to enter into your aura, into your shield of light, and then begin to try to live vicariously through you. They can whisper things into your ear and make you think that it is you. Oh, I'm listening to my body because my body says it needs meat. No, you're listening to the parasites, the same kinds of parasites that say that you need to eat the processed food and the sugar and all this other junk. So what it says, I don't think the mainstream Bible God promotes war. And I don't know about animal sacrifice. I've heard that both ways. Well, technically in the Old Testament, God basically says, go in and kill all of these people, women and children included. And then they get in trouble for essentially not obliterating everyone in this group. And especially when I grew up in mainstream Christianity, I would jump through the hoops to try to justify, like, oh, these people are evil, blah, 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 all this stuff. But realistically, God does not want us to kill. God wants us to find ways to live in peace and harmony. Instead of, if your brother's coming at you to kill you, first of all, you recognize that that's your brother and he's deceived, he's fallen, and he doesn't understand what he's doing. And for me, as the one who does, who knows better than him, he's coming to attack me, I'm going to use my Zayen martial arts skills to get out of the situation, knock him down, get control over the situation, and not die. I'm not going to kill him. He's not going to kill me. What we're going to do is, I don't know, I might have to just tie you to a chair and brainwash you. I'll just sit here and read the Megillah to you until you want to love me instead of kill me. Like, we'll figure it out afterwards, but I'm not going to kill them, right? So the mentality is totally different. And as far as animal sacrifices, yeah, even in Exodus, right after they are brought out of Egypt, it goes into build an altar and sacrifice animals, which later in Jeremiah 7:22 literally references this part in Exodus and says, I did not tell them on the day that I brought them out of Egypt to do animal sacrifices. I told them to obey my voice and you'll be my people. So even in there's contradictions, but people use these words to justify animal abuse and animal sacrifice. And, oh, God said that we can eat animals. So yeah. Hey, Jennifer, how's it going? I'm so excited to be able to help get you a Megillah. You definitely need and deserve one. I'm really, really excited about that. Woohoo! Waters Above says that plants can't decide to walk away. No, they technically can't, but an apple, the purpose of an apple that the creator made was to be consumed. It has this beautiful bloom. It has floral scents that attract you to it, and it literally wants to be eaten. An apple wants you to pick it and eat it and take its seeds and go plant those seeds. Otherwise, it does not fulfill its life purpose. It falls to the wayside and it rots and it dies. And that's just not the purpose of these beautiful, radiant fruits that the creator created for us. So it's completely different. Plants also do not have a brain. They do not have nociceptors, so they can't actually feel pain physically. They have mechanoreceptors often, like actual plants, which aren't apples. Cucumbers, apples, those things don't have any of these. A plant outside, a tree, whatever, if I go up and, they can respond to stimuli, that's a mechanoreceptor, but they don't actually feel physical pain the way that we do and the way that animals do. So it's not comparable at all. So what says it's speciest? Technically, speciest I am, because there are different species and they should be acknowledged as being different. We're not just all one species. But I don't believe that we should degrade other species or treat them poorly because they are different than us. We should be living in peace and harmony with them and love them. So what says if we don't have children, we'll go extinct? Well, thankfully, we're not anywhere near worried about going extinct anytime soon. But again, if you know that there is bad things coming, having a baby is not a smart idea, right? Wait and see if you survive the bad thing and then think about having a child, especially because what if you don't survive that and you have a child and the child does? And there's just a lot of factors that just don't make any logical sense coming from at least my parenting brain. So it says that they often come through the inside sewage system drains. Ugh, yes. Well, that is true, but there are other ways that you can't put plants in all of that, but you could put stuff around the exits of the sewage system and even the essential oils, just using that as the scent to deter them. David says that demons whisper corruptions into our ears and try to convince us that these thoughts are our own. Exactly. And then they live vicariously. They get pleasures through it. What kind of came to mind was pornography, unfortunately, and this demonic attachment and how it spirals down into more extreme things, and the demons will help you get pleasure from taking these things in. And also that's going to affect your vision as well. I've seen people with vision problems because of what they are consuming, and it's a direct manifestation of the evil that they're letting into their eyes. But the degrading nature of it and how it's like needing more extreme behaviors to satiate it. It's because it's demonic. It's not coming from your soul. It's not that your soul wants these disgusting and depraved behaviors and all this stuff. It's that demon that is pretending, to be you essentially and living vicariously through you in those situations. And then in turn, you go into the world and try to find a real girl to do these things with. And then it's just this whole system of degradation and corruption that both sexes have been on. And it really is far past time for that to stop. God doesn't want us to kill our brothers and sisters of any species. Exactly. Ha ha ha. Brainwash them with the Megillah. Exactly. We could do that. I'm willing to sit here and read this book to the person that wanted to come and kill me. It's like, we're not doing this. Their brain is corrupted, ignorant, and dirty. They need their brain washed clean. Exactly. So it says, blocking punches, not to mention guns, literally doesn't stop the attacker. They literally just keep trying. It makes no sense why they'd stop unless they tried after fighting for 24 hours. God may not want to kill us, but people do. Blocking punches might not stop the attacker, but if you read, especially in the teachings of Zion and in the Megillah, it talks about just the attackers wearing themselves out because they keep coming after and keep trying to be aggressive and stopping it. Obviously, guns are different, but the philosophy for me doesn't change. I'm not going to do evil just because someone else is going to do evil against me. So yeah, nonviolence is definitely the way to go. Just trying to figure out how to get out of that situation in the best way possible. So it says, hit them with the Megillah. Oh, that's awesome. I have a term for that, Megillah thumping. Okay, see, this is perfect. You're already coming up with creative ideas that help us not have to kill people. Maybe there's a reason why the book is so big. If we wait for world peace to have kids, that will more likely than not happen in our lifetimes. The entailment of that logic is extinction if we follow your suggestion, it sounds like. Well, I understand that it might sound like that, but at the same time, like I said, if things are continuing down this path, I wouldn't want to have a kid. It's a curse to bring a kid into this mess, and it would better, I don't believe that God and Goddess would allow the extinction to happen anyways. So yeah. David D says, Zion uses non-lethal violence, potentially breaking bones, but not kill them. Oh yeah, there is that too. Just breaking their legs or whatever you have to do to stop the situation. Well, actually, the story that I just remembered was breaking their arms, essentially leaving their legs well enough so that they can walk away, basically. So yeah, exactly. There's always different ways that we can go about trying to interact with people in a more peaceful way, even if they mean violence towards us. We can't really expect people to be peaceful in any situation, whether it's to their fellow humans or their animals, when we're eating violence and warfare for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're eating meat, you're eating violence. That animal did not give itself willingly. And so to change this, again, it's just returning to nature, returning to peace and love, becoming that love and extending it to our animal brothers and sisters. And literally that is the key that is going to change all of this. We can talk about all the other topics. We can talk about every other conspiracy, truth, or topic that we want, but it's not going to change what will change if we actually return to love. And that love is not just for our human fellows, but our animal fellows as well. I am going to jump off of here. David D says that we need to purify this world before bringing children into it. Exactly. And we need to purify ourselves before we even think about that. So it's an internal thing. It's starting inside, becoming that peace and love, and then helping change the world around us. This world is ripe for change. Things are already changing. That's why the powers that be, even with the AI link and stuff, there's things happening. There's room for change, and it's ready for us to step up and step into our power and become that. Jennifer says, God doesn't want us to die. I think also his comment meant to say God doesn't want us to kill, but but anyways, that comment, yes, God does. God created death in the first place. So I definitely agree with that. This realm is a temporary thing. It's a cosmic school, and it's not meant to just be our forever home. We're meant to graduate through it and, go to heaven most high and then answer the call to come back down. But that's in a different mentality. It's not being stuck in the school. It's coming back to the school to help the undergrads, right? It's a different mentality. It is truly the only thing our body must do in this life. Everything else is a choice. Death ends our separation from Elohim in this illusion. But no, someone trying to kill us is still not okay. But death is not punishment. Absolutely. Definitely agree with that. And death not the end. We've been through it before. So when death is threatened to us, it shouldn't be such a big deal, especially when it's like, I'm going to kill. Oh, I shouldn't say that. When they threaten to pass us on because we won't take the chip, right? If they say, I'm going to do this, it's like, all right, we'll do it. I don't fear death. Like, what is this to me? Like, you're actually sending me to a better, I'm leaving this place of suffering and going up to a better place. So, bring it on. It really helps to get rid of that fear. So cool. Jennifer says, yes, exactly. Graduate through here. I love that. All right, I'm going to jump off of here, but I will keep you posted. Tomorrow I leave for Florence, and it's going to take me a few days. I'm going to travel up the coast and do a little bit of sightseeing, so I will keep you posted on all of that fun stuff. And yeah, I hope that you'll take some time to go connect with Mother Earth today and just let her share with you the love that she has with you. That love and forgiveness is always there. No matter what we've done, there's open arms waiting to take us back and embrace us and help us remember who we are and put us on the right path again. I hope that you have a wonderful day. May God and the Goddess bless you.